Oh, oh dear, there's little things going on my computer, and I'm not at all organised, and I'm here on my own because Mr. J is busy. So if you'll bear with me while I get myself organised on my computer, so I can actually see any live chat, because it's nice to be able to see what you're actually saying and to say hello to you as you do. So let's see. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you for joining us. Or us, me. Thank you for joining me. Oh, there's 5 of you here already. Hello, hello. And I am still doing my getting it organised, because I've now worked out if I do the pop out live chat thing, I don't actually have to see myself waving my arms around, which is a much better deal. So can someone let me know if you can hear me okay, please? So I'll say hello to Cheryl, Rose, Kilted Gardener, Kate, Emily, and Valerie. Hello. And Laura is here as well. Oh, good. I'm hoping it sounds really good, because I've put the microphone on me after our experiments with changing things around. So what you can't see is, but just here, I've got my laptop, which usually sits on the table, but we've raised it up on boxes so that when I look down, you don't have to watch the dirt on the top of my head. And I don't actually mean the hair, I mean there's the soil from the garden on the top of my head. But when we did that, I think it must have made it noisier, because we usually have the microphone sort of just here in front of the camera. And I think it just got noisier, because last week a lot of you said it was much quieter. So got the sorry about the noise, tapping the microphone. Sorry, that was unkind of me. Maybe it didn't make any noise, but so hopefully the sound is better this week. And more of you are here. Wonderful. Steve's here. Hi, Steve. Thank you for your email. Helen's here. Hello, Helen. So yeah, so it has been a really good week. So would you like to let me know where you're from and what your weather is doing today, because ours has been a real mixture of bits and pieces. And I'm just going to pause for a second and say, Helen, are you my Helen? Are you Mr. J's Helen? Are you the same Helen? You'll know what I'm saying. And Chrissy's here. Welcome, Chrissy. Thank you for joining us. And Jasmine at Alternative Smallholding is here. So let's have a look and see what the weather is doing. It is cold, windy, and first snows in France. Snow in Scotland, but it didn't settle. Hello, Helen. Okay, I'm just going to tell everybody that Helen, please say hello to Helen Smith, because she is a family member and it's really nice. It's the first time she's joined us. So big hello to Helen, please. Benny's here from Norway, where it's windy and cold, 1971. Witters is here. Hello. Live, love, laugh every day says good morning, and I missed the weather there. Let's have a look. From Phoenix, Arizona, it's 49 degrees and she can hear me fine. Shelley Bean's here. Hi, Shelley. So a fellow South Wellian. And Dawn has made it. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for joining us. Us. I'm going to keep saying us. It's not a royal we. It's because Mr. J is usually here with me. Who else did I just see arrive? Oh, Helen, the fence blew down. I'll tell you what, after this live chat, give me a ring and tell me all about it. So, everyone's saying hello to everyone else, which is brilliant. So, the weather here this week has been horrific. It has been blowing a hoolie, torrential rain, really, really disgusting. And poor Mr. J has been out working really long hours in this weather. It's a rubbish time of year, or it's rubbish weather and a rubbish time of year to be a postman. So he is doing extra hours this week, doing extra days. So he's the things that he would normally do on his days off, he's trying to get done today. So he may pop down and say, well, what he said was he would pass through at some point just to prove that he wasn't buried under the patio, which I thought was a bit drastic, but he is around. And let's see who else is here. Barbara's here and Danny's here. Hi, Danny. And Deb is here. And Sarah's here. And Heavenbound Homestead. And Lilanu Life. Loads and loads of people have joined us, and Hillary's joined us. And Ross. Hiya, Ross. And Jeanette from Wales. Jeanette, where are you? Are you in North Wales, or are you down here with us down here? It could be in Mid Wales, actually, for all I know. Let me know. I'm wittering. Anyway, this morning I woke up and the sun was shining and it was lovely. I mean, bitterly cold, really, really cold. But it was really lovely. So I have been out in the garden. I've been filming. I've got a massive project. Well, I say massive. Massive for this time of year project done. So I've planted all the garlic, which I'm really pleased to have got into the ground. I filmed all of that. So that will be my video on Tuesday. You will see what I've done, how I've done, and why I've done it the way that I've done it. So it's been really nice to get out and get a bit of fresh air. So has anyone else managed to get out at all this week and do anything in their gardens, or just be outside rather than being huddled inside? Okay, so Homestead and Highlands is just splitting up my garlic now for planting after this. I'll show you what I've got left. I had six bulbs, and that's what I've got left out of 6 bulbs that wouldn't fit into the allotted space, so that will have to go somewhere else. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 or 6 more bits. So Homestead in the Highlands said she's been filling up her raised bed with molehills. Good, that's good news. Alternative small holding. I'm sorry that you're having a stressful day. That's not what we want. Benny's only been out to feed the birds. Is that wild birds or chickens? Ross says he's been to his allotment for the last 2 days. Well, yesterday we had a good inch of rain yesterday and about 1.5 inches the day before. It's been soggy here. Hilary has managed some clearing up on the allotment this week. Well done. Laura's only been outside to take care of ducks and chickens. Dawn says, we drove through Mid Wales along the A44 back to Derby yesterday with the youngest who's at Aberystwyth Uni. So wet and cold. I love Mid Wales. I lived in Mid Wales for, I can't do the maths, 12, 13, nearly 15 years. And I lived in a place called Rhayader, which is right in the middle. Absolutely loved it. So Emily hasn't done much in the garden, but went out and put your names down for an allotment. That's fantastic. Do you know how long the waiting list is? Is there a waiting list? Barbara's allotment says, there's so much to learn about making videos. There is, but some of the best videos are literally shot on a phone, point, press, go, and it works really well. So Ross said it was very cold yesterday. Oh, and you got broken into. I'm sorry about that, Ross. That's bad news. Lilanu Life, it's planting garlic. If I'm not reading things out and I'm not saying hello to you, hi Christy, hi Joe, it's because the conversation is going so quickly, so please excuse me from that. Alan's here. let's have a quick house. Emily said up to 6 months, but it could be sooner for her new allotment. That's so exciting. Deb says Rhoda isn't far from Kington. No, it's not. It's not very far at all. Isn't Kington where they've got, they used to have a farm that was open to the public that had all miniature animals in it. It had owls, loads of owls and birds of prey, but they had like miniature donkeys and things, like really little ones, which I absolutely loved. Used to love going to. Sam's allotment diamond says just about done now until after Christmas because it's just too wet to do anything. 1971, which is you're talking about hot lemon and honey with ginger. So I'm assuming you're coldy and not feeling brilliant. That is exactly what we use when we're not feeling great. Heavenbound Homestead is building a quail cage, getting ready for eggs. Steve says he did his yearly distillation yesterday, transformed 100 litres cider into 18 litres of Calvados. Yeah, that is a good year, isn't it? Good morning, Susie. Thank you for joining us. I'm really behind with the chat, so if I, as I say, if I don't keep up, I'm sorry. Breaking the Shell is here. Rose, thank you for dealing with that. You're way quicker than I am because I haven't even got to that bit of conversation by the time you dealt with that. Oh dear. So I am scrolling down, and have I got to the end yet? Oh no, I haven't. So Kate's saying you've had lots of sunshine in Texas. Oh, I could do with a few more days of sunshine actually. A proper, a blast of sunshine to make it really lovely. Bill is here from Bill's Allotments, 2 Plots of Heaven. So yesterday evening, in case you haven't seen it yet, yesterday evening I put up a video celebrating some of the, shall I do that again? Celebrating some of the smaller UK gardening channels. So probably about a month or 5 weeks ago, I asked people to nominate effectively, so I could find as many. I find as many of the smaller gardening channels, and when I say small, it's only that's only a measure of the number of gardening channels. And when I say small, it's only that's only a measure of the number of subscribers. It doesn't actually make you smaller than any other channel. But what I want to do is give people a bit of a highlight and a bit of a shout out. So yesterday's video started that process, and I will do another one in spring. And I reckon, given how long it took me to actually make that video, do all the research and everything for it. And morning, Harry, at Food Forest Permaculture. I think if I start making it now, I might have it finished by spring. So, so Kate says there's almost always sunshine in South Texas, and you're often praying for clouds and rain. Kate, can I invite you to come and visit us in Wales? And you could take some of the rain home with you. It's a damp old place at the moment. So Ross is saying that he had quite a few subscribers following the shout out yesterday. So I'm really pleased. I mean, that was the point of it, was to just to showcase in some way some of the other channels that are available. And I say in the video, but I'm going to say it again, part of my reasoning for doing that was twofold. One was that White House on the Hill did a similar process for homesteading channels about 11 months ago now. It was, I can't remember whether it was February or March, but early in the year. And I had a huge number of subscribers from that, and got to know loads and loads of people, which was fabulous. So I wanted to be able to do that within the UK gardening group. And the second reason, and was much less altruistic, it's because I wanted I wanted to get to know some of the channels here in the UK, because up to now I've really only worked with channels in America, Canada and Australia. So it was a twofold thing. So if it worked for you, you know, then it was, you know, it was win-win all round in that case. So Rose is saying she wants to get more connected to channels over the pond. Rose, there are some there are lots of really awesome channels here, and people will welcome you with open arms. And getting started on homesteading is here. Hello. Wow, really busy conversation. And I've only ticked two things off my list. It's a good job I haven't got that many on here, really. I do want to just talk to you very quickly about this week's homestead harvest, because I did actually harvest something this week. Not a lot, though. So I ran out in between rainstorms and got 1.5 pounds of carrots, a pound of leeks, 4.5 pounds of parsnips, which was £7 in total. So my running total for the year since the 1st of June is, can you see that? Yeah, so 1,161 pounds of food that I've harvested from the garden since then. I am so pleased. I'm delighted, actually, and we've still got masses of food to come. And the other thing that I have harvested this morning, but not quite harvested as such, is I've pulled up 3 really big cabbage plants, and this was the Asturian tree cabbage. So I'm sitting down, that doesn't really help. It was about 3 feet, between 3 and 4 feet high, and the leaves were about 18 inches long and about 10 inches across. They're huge leaves. And then one's gone to the turkeys, whoops. One's gone to the ducks and one's gone to each of the flock of chickens. So that was the other thing, but I haven't weighed them because I gave them to the birds. Ticked another thing off the list. So right, Kilted Gardener, you're saying any Swedes yet? I have had, we've actually had quite a lot of Swedes. So outside the UK, that's Rudabecca. I don't know how you say it. Rudabecca. If you say it very quickly, it sounds differently. Rudabecca. Is that it? So yeah, I've had quite a lot of Swedes, and none of them are huge. Most of them are just a bit bigger than a tennis ball. So by the time I've taken the skin off them, there's not a lot to them, but you know, they're coming. They are coming. I'm reading back. I hate this silence bit. Kate, what is it? What is it that Blake says when he's reading? Because I know does he call it an awkward silence? So he calls it a something, and it always makes me smile. Barbara's allotment says she's got 4 subs and she rang everyone she knew to tell them. Fabulous. Well, that's how you start. I started off asking my children to subscribe, and my subscriber count sat in single figures for quite a long time. Weeks. Definitely weeks. So the squirrel comment. What is the squirrel comment? Because I'm never sure what the squirrel is. I'm gonna have to find this out sooner or later, aren't I? I know the squirrel comment happens on Blake's. So that's Daddy Curbs that I'm talking about there during his live chats. Yes, I think squirrel is a super chat on Blake's. Well, that won't be happening here. There will be no super chatting going on here because my super chat got turned off when I got demonetised. So, so I can be fairly sure that one won't be happening. So Hidden Meadow Farm has joined us. Thank you. So she doesn't really have a minute to stop, but she just wanted to jump on and say, have a Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Rose is saying, do I have a PayPal that people can donate to? Yes, I do, Rose. And it is on my, if you're looking on my channel, in the top right-hand corner of the what's that bit called across the header? So the bottom right-hand corner of the header, sorry, but near the top right of the screen, you will see a PayPal me a button, and it's there. That's probably the easiest way to do it. The banner, that's the one. Yeah, thank you. Sarah's asking what Super Chat is. Can someone else? Well, I will explain it again. Super Chat is something that YouTube has on it that allows viewers to make a donation towards that channel during a live chat to support the work of that channel. And it's underneath the live, underneath your chat boxes, you'll see a little $sign. You probably won't see it on mine because it's been switched off because I'm not allowed to have it. Anna's saying, does that mean you can't donate? Yes, you can donate. You can donate in all the ways you could already, Anna, but thank you for asking. So there's a PayPal me, button on my channel banner, and there's Patreon. So there are both of those. And Kate, do you still have my Patreon address around? And if not, I will pop it up. Address. That's not what I mean, is it? I will find it. Hey, guess what? Da da da. Oh, he's gone. He came in for a moment and disappeared again. Are you back? He came in to get a large amount of... Oh, thank you, Kate. He came in to get a large amount of kitchen rolls, so I can only assume he's just knocked his coffee over. So, yes, it is a 1971 Witters. It is a URL that I'm trying to think of. My brain it's quite tired, so so that was that bit. I wanted to talk to you about chicken eggs because we've got 28 chickens at the moment in one flock, and a couple of days ago we got one egg for the day, which I calculate that one egg cost me £4 in feed because it's, I think I've done the maths right. It was an incredibly expensive egg. So it's 28 birds, so that's £28 a week to feed the lot of them. So it's £1 a week each. But so that makes it £4 a day to feed all of them. But if I only got one egg that day, that's £4 it cost me to get one egg. So that's was a really expensive egg, and I don't eat chicken eggs anymore. So Mr. J's got to really, really enjoy it. So that was just. Oh, and Mrs. S is here. Hello, thank you for joining us. And Jen, Chaotically Minimal, is here. I can hear movement upstairs. I think he must have knocked his coffee over. That's never good news, is it? Yeah, Ross is saying that's why some people get rid of their birds. Yeah, a lot of those are fairly young birds, old enough to have started laying, but they're just having a pause. So, Marika is here. Did I say your name right? I hope so. And Jay is here. Have I thought about adding some supplemental light to my chicken coop? I have thought about it, but actually I want the birds to have as natural a cycle throughout the year as I can. And if that means I don't get eggs, well, you know, I don't get eggs. It's not it's not the end of the world. It's just a bit irritating. So, and Valerie's asking, hello Valerie. Valerie's asking why don't I have gone off chicken eggs, so I eat duck eggs because I prefer them. It's a simple. It's just that it's not that I can't eat them or anything. I've just oh, it's raining again. I've just decided that I prefer duck eggs. So, and Tatty's and Tom's is here. Hello, and Jimmy's allotment is here. Jimmy is saying we had some chickens, no eggs that would lay. Did you have an accident? Did the cat have an accident? Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, so things got knocked over. Oops. And Health Enthusiast has joined us and said, is Mr. J not joining? He's passing through, but because he's doing extra work this week, all the jobs that he would normally get done on his days off, he's trying to get done today. So it's all a bit hectic by the look of it. I'm still reading. So, and Stephanie's here, and Evie is here. So Evie's saying that when her chickens slow down production during cold weather, she puts cayenne pepper on their feed. And obviously here in the UK we can't do that because we can't take anything that's been through the house or been through a kitchen, either a domestic kitchen or a commercial kitchen, which cayenne pepper would have been. We can't do any of that, give any of that to our birds, but interesting though. I am still reading. I know I'm looking, I'm doing that. It's not the most attractive actually when someone just goes, and Diana is here, hello, and Laurie is here, and Rev Haynes is here. And Jay McHugh is here. Who says, sorry they're late, they were baking chocolate chip cookies. I think you're more than forgiven if there is chocolate chip cookies on the go. I'll see what I've made this week. I would like to say there's masses of it left, but there isn't. So I've been making fudge, and I've just kind of had a bit of a sugar overdose this week now. But it's very nice though. Very nice. Anna is saying Liz does mugs. Yes, Liz does do mugs. Let me show you. We have a mug. Da, da, da. So this is a representation of Byther Farm. So that's supposed to be the house. That's my this is my version of the house and my version of the barn. But the ducks on it are actually Mr. Drake. So what I did was I've taken a piece of footage and I cut out the silhouettes, and that is literally the ducks are Mr. Drake, and all the chickens are all Elvis, the lovely late Elvis Cockerell. So those are all him, and the ducks are Mr. Drake. It was very much a pulled together design. So fudge. This fudge I try to only make once a year. I usually end up making 2 batches. This will go off to my sister tomorrow. I'll make some for my daughter. But funny enough, I always seem to make more than is needed for each person. So very nicely it ends up with us. So, Homestead in the Highlands says, have you tried Scottish tablet sweets? I have. Well, I'm saying I have. I was talking about this with Lizelle the other day about what was the difference between fudge and tablets, and then we got on to talking about Kendal mint cake and things like that. So I think I probably have at some point. That would look like Erica has joined us. Hi Erica, how are you? Since I was chatting to you like an hour and a bit ago. So, and Jay is saying, is there such a thing as more than needed? Well, there is when you just have so much sugar going that it makes your face go turn inside out. And for those of us who have zero willpower, too much sugar is not. Too much fudge is not necessarily a good thing because I'll just carry on eating it. So Jasmine's off. That's alternative small holding. She's going to go foraging and do a video. Have a good time. Have a good time. Right. Saron is here. Hi, Saron. You're asking about how Scooby-Doo is doing. Well, I'm afraid Scooby-Doo isn't doing. Scooby-Doo is no longer with us. Look at me, I'm trying to find the best way to phrase this. He's no longer with us. He really wasn't. He suddenly went downhill really quickly. And I don't know what it is about that area there. There must be something in the ground that, and I don't know what it is, but there's obviously something in that field that is not suiting them. I don't really know how to. He just went downhill very quickly, and so I dispatched him to put him out of his misery. And since then, so that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've just actually I was really upset about it, so I haven't talked about it. So thank you for prompting me, because I would probably have forgotten to tell you about it at all. So. Yeah. So yeah, that was really sad. So we named him, and then he went downhill, and he is no more. But we've got the name, so the name will carry on. We'll keep on having Scooby-Roos. So. So Dawn is saying you have to eat fudge to ensure quality control. Yeah, you do. You probably don't need to eat about half a pound of it at a time to ensure quality control. So yeah, it is really sad about Scooby, because I had wanted more Moran chickens, but they will have to be, because we've got Moran girls, so it'll have to be an Australorp Moran cross. So, which could be interesting. It really could. They'll probably come out black, because it does seem like that the Australorp gene in the colouring is dominant. But hopefully we'll still get the brown eggs. So yeah, I know. Poor Scooby-Roo. It was one of the, and I was very upset, and I think it was kind of all at the same time as the sinkhole and the demonetisation that week. It was like in between one and the other thing happening, and my head was Swiss cheese. So Kate is saying 57 are watching, 24 thumbs up, so that means half of you are not enjoying this. So I do my best pathetic face. And you know, the reason that people ask for a thumbs up during a live chat or during a video is that it tells YouTube that you're enjoying what you're watching, and that whatever you're watching is a good piece of work, as it were, or a good bit of creativity. That's a better phrase. Yeah. Ross is saying that the place near you does rescue cockerels, roosters, so for a tiny donation you can get one. Yeah, every time we hatch out eggs, Ross, we have it's usually about 60 to 65% are cockerels, so we don't usually have a problem having more of them. So, and Byther Farm has joined us. Hello, hello. I'm still saying us. Right, they've joined all of us. How about that? That sounds better, doesn't it? So, couple of thank yous I want to do. I want to say thank you to Jacqueline. Jacqueline, I don't know whether she's here or not. Jacqueline, you may have a channel and therefore go by a channel name. If not, I'm going to say it and hope that she will watch this at some point. Jacqueline, thank you so much for your gift. Jacqueline sent me a new headlamp for headlights, for doing the birds at night. So, which was very, very welcomed. So thank you for that. And I also want to say thank you to my new patrons who've joined me in the last week. So that's on my list. Laura, Adrienne, Erica, Jennifer, Shirley and Emily. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope that you are enjoying the extra videos that I'm putting up there. So there's one this week, one last week, and there will be one weekly that aren't on YouTube. And they are just for patrons. So Cindy's here from Part-Time Permies. Hi. And my family gardener here now. Erica, earlier on I was saying to you, go and check out my family garden. They're here. If you haven't, because I didn't give them a shout out yesterday on my video, but if you haven't found them yet, do have a look at my family garden. It is a family, and they're using permaculture in their garden, and got chickens, and then also do stuff like in the evenings go out and do some good work in the evenings out and about with hot food for people who are homeless at this time of year, which we very much like. I very much like when we support people who are less fortunate than us or in less lovely circumstances. So hats off to you, and I love the channel. So if you don't know how to do it, if you have a look on your screen, hold your cursor near somebody's comment, you'll then see 3 dots appear on the right hand side. Click on those 3 dots and you'll get something that comes up. It says go to channel. You can click on that and it should take you to the channel without taking you off this page if you're on a computer. I'm not sure what happens if you are on a phone, so someone can tell me what happens when you're on a phone, but it means that you can then go and have a look at other channels. Homestead in the Highlands said, lovely, which channel is that? That's called My Family Garden, and if you have a look, just up a few people, you'll see them in the conversation. So okay, so Erica's saying it's the same on the phone. So oh good, yeah, that was all easy then. So I've said thanks. I can tick things off my list. I really like this. So I've got two things left on my list. One is to let you know that at some point in the first week of January, I haven't quite confirmed the day and time yet, but I have confirmed that it's that week. Hugh from Hugh's Nursery will be here with me to do a live chat. And it will be a Q&A, so we've already started asking people for any questions, so we can have a little think about any answers if they're really complicated ones. But we will also be taking questions on the day. So they can be, as long as they're polite, as long as they're polite questions, they can be kind of about anything. And if if they're very personal, we just won't answer them, as always. But anything gardening-y, anything around what Hugh's doing, his book and all of those things, yeah, fire away with those questions. At the moment I've got it on my group. I will put a card up. I'll put one of those community notices up as well, so that people can you know, you can all leave questions for Hugh and I there. So yeah, Kilted Gardener's saying, yay, Hugh. Yeah, Hugh's he's an absolute star, isn't he? He's a lovely chap. So, right, you can ask Hugh how he stays so handsome. But chances are he's not going to answer. He'll just blush. So, there we go. Homestead and Highness saying she dreamt that Hugh was telling her to get on with planting a garlic. Well, there you go. Perhaps you should listen to your dream. So Hugh will be here for an hour or so of live chat on my channel. So in that first weekend in January. And the other thing I wanted to say was, look, we're so close to the 21st, which is hump point as far as I'm concerned. It's that point where it starts getting lighter each day, for longer each day. And then I saw somebody had put up a little chart saying it is already getting lighter in the evenings than it was. So we're kind of pretty much there. I've spent weeks now in this kind of fog of, I've just got to get through to that like third week in December, and then things will start feeling better. But I think actually we're pretty much there now. So so that was all tied into what I'm about to say. So new year, have you got your gardening journals ready? Do you use one? If not, are you going to use one? This is my garden plans from 2015 onwards. So in here I put everything from when I planted, I'm just trying to show. So when I've planted something, when it germinated, what it tasted like, things like don't grow that again because it tasted horrible. I really recommend it. This is literally, it's just a book with lined pages. It's nothing more than that. And I just use a 1 page per crop. And then I carry on using it for several years. So I just put a line underneath it and start the new seasons. And some of them that say don't bother ever growing again. Obviously that's the only thing I ever write on that. If it turns out we didn't like it, but it is nearly that time of year to be thinking about it. And the other thing I do in this is I plan out my planting plan. I do it in rough several times. And then I write it, when I've decided exactly what I'm going to do, I write it in here. So I've got it for the year, and then I pretty much ignore it until the next year when I realise that I didn't plant anything where I thought I was going to, but I tried. So I can see people saying, yeah, you're really organised. No, I'm well intended, I think is the answer. It's well intended. It doesn't always happen. I don't always remember to write in it, and I rarely remember to actually plant in it in quite the plan that I had imagined. So here we go. So Part-Time Perm says there's a book called Week by Week. I've missed it. A Week by Week Vegetable Gardener's Handbook. And you use that to make, and you use it to make your calendar, which is brilliant. I've got to the point now where it's much more. I've got a gap. What can I stuff in it? because I thought most of my, most of my garden beds would be empty. They're not. At least half of them have still got crops in them. So I've got to the point now where it's just that if I've taken something out, that means there's a bit of space to put something in. So that's good. Cheryl says she's waiting for Hugh's book. Yeah. So Hugh's book is due out in March. I'm sure there are people who will be able to tell us the exact date because I know it coincides with their birthday. So I've got a feeling it's something like March the 9th or 7th. There we go. So that will be out then. So getting started on homesteading says you open your back door throughout the season, hope they grow. Well, yeah, pretty much. I make that sound very casual. I don't just throw them out. I ought to. They probably would still grow. There we go. So that is everything on my list. I love having ticks on my list. Is there anybody want to ask me anything? Because if not, I might finish a little bit earlier. But if you have got a question, can you pop it in capitals, and then I'll be able to see it more clearly. So Erica is asking where Mr. J is. He's upstairs. He's working extra days this week. So he's trying to cram everything into today, what he would normally do in a couple of days, in his days off. So, and Phil is in the other room. Phil is on a break. All we have is these little baby Phils. These are fillets. So they're not Phil's offspring. They are his baby cousins. These are the and the things I can never say the name of. Uchiki curry, is that how we say it? We had one of these for supper last night. Wasn't the only thing we had for supper. We had it with supper, which was really nice. Patricia, hello. If I didn't say hello earlier, I'm sorry. Says, what's the best sort of fruit trees to grow in a garden? A fruit that you like. I know it's a really silly, it's not, it sounds glib, but it's not. You're much better off growing something that you know you like and know that you'll eat than something that looks lovely, but actually you don't like the taste of it, and now all of a sudden you've got a big plant taking up a massive amount of space. I mean, we're lucky enough to have the space to grow quite a variety of fruit. So, but yes, so although it sounds like a glib answer, something that you grow, something that you really like to eat. Harry from Food Forest Permaculture said, had to cut the greens, dig some beets, pick the last of the lemons, dig the ginger, go pick up the elders for the church, go to a friend's farm and cut the celery and get ready for juicing. Have a good rest of your day. It sounds like you're going to be really busy. So I'm just going to scroll back up again if I can. There we go. A health enthusiast says, what do you cook for a Christmas meal? Something very, very low key. It will just be a piece of chicken, or we might even just have sausage and mash. But then on Boxing Day, so the 26th, my daughter's coming with the grandchildren. And then we will have some roast turkey and potatoes and some of the Asturian tree cabbage and carrots and masses and masses of veg. And I'm hoping that will be a 100% homegrown main course, and then we'll have Christmas pudding for afters. Simon says her raspberries are still producing. Are mine still producing? Yes, masses and masses. Some of them starting to go quite mushy because we've had several frosts and heavy frosts, but there are still some coming through. It's amazing. I know last year, mid-November, we were still picking raspberries, but here we are, middle of December, picking them. So, Kilter Gardener says, do you get any sloe berries in your area? Yes, we do. And the area by the piggeries has got masses of sloes, and all the hedges in the field surrounding us. There are sloes all over the place. Which I don't pick because I've got nothing to do with them. I don't know what I would do with them. Mr. J doesn't like sloe gin. I don't drink alcohol anymore, so it's kind of I don't really know what don't know what we'd do with them. So hi Lorella, thank you for joining us. I am right, and Scott's Diesel is here. Has there ever been anything you've tried to grow and had repeated poor results? Yes, many times and many things. So carrots, I have really good years, and then I'll have maybe 3 or 4 years where they just won't grow. This year I tried an Aztec broccoli. That didn't happen at all. I seem to constantly plant things and they don't grow. And you never hear about them again because I kind of forgotten that I've planted them, and then I just plant something else in that space. So I probably ought to do keep a more close record of the things that don't grow, but it's just more exciting and more satisfying to keep a record of the things that do. That was a good question though. Sylvia says, are turkeys affected by lack of seasonal sunlight? Does anybody know that? Hello Sylvia, thank you for joining us. If anyone could answer that, that would be brilliant. Ross is off. Cheers Ross, thanks for dropping in. Jay says, I've heard the phrase plant pears for your heirs, meaning that pear trees take a very long time to bear a decent amount of fruit. Does anyone have any experience with pear trees? So I've just planted a duo pear tree that was Conference and Concord, both grafted onto the same rootstock, and I have another one of those in the orchard that can only be, because I know how long it's been planted there. It's been in the ground 5 years, so last year on its 4th year we took about, I'll try not to exaggerate, I think we took 35 Conference pears and about 18, maybe 20 the Concord pears from it. So that did really well. So I guess it likes where it is. So I'm still, has anybody answered the seasonal sunlight for turkeys question yet? So, Narendra's here. Hello, thank you for joining us. I can't keep up with the chat again. Right. And George is here. Do you know what? As we have come to a pause in questions, and as it is now pouring with rain, and my mug is empty, I think it's probably time to head off and get a cup of tea. So I want to say thank you to all for joining me today. And I will be back on Tuesday with another video. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one. And I also hope you'll join me next week for another live chat. Bye.